Hello, my name is Burnett with Center Edge Software, and today I wanted to show you the tools that I've developed for managing your nickel indexes declaratively uh, that we use at Center Edge, and show you some of the cool stuff that they can do. The first thing I want to show you is the Couchbase Index Manager. This is a tool that's been around for probably 2 or 3 years. I've recently updated it to Couchbase SDK 3 of using Node.js, as well as updated it for Couchbase Server 7 with support for scopes and collections. But what it allows you to do is use YAML files or JSON files to declaratively define the indexes that you want in your cluster. And then you can run the script against it, and it will compare the actual state of your cluster to what's defined in the file and make decisions about what needs to be done to bring the cluster into alignment. Everything from replicas to keys to conditions to specific node assignments from your replicas, partitions. It can do all the different index magic. So to give you a quick example of how this runs, you just give it a command line with connection information, the bucket you want to run against, and you pass it in one or more files or directories that contain the definitions that you want to apply. Include support for overriding for per environment variances. And as you can see in this interactive mode, it tells you what index it's going to create to bring the cluster in sync, which is this index here that the cluster is missing. These all match up, so it does nothing with them. You say yes, and it will go out and create and then do grouped builds to actually build the indexes for you. And so this is a pretty straightforward tool. We use it at Center Edge today and have been for years. You can get it by npm installing the package. If you want scopes and collections, you want the 2.0 beta. And you can also get it on Docker Hub and just run it from Docker. This is great for actually running it inside a Kubernetes cluster as well. And so that's what we do today for managing indexes. But I also have a new open source utility I wanted to show everyone that we just have written now and we're starting to do beta testing on. And that's called the Couchbase Index Manager Operator. This is built on top of the Couchbase Index Manager as a Go operator to run inside Kubernetes that allows you to define a Couchbase index set custom resource that manages your indexes for you so that you can actually deploy and manage your indexes as part of your regular Kubernetes deployment pipeline using Kustomize or Helm, using Spinnaker in our case is how we do our continuous delivery, so that whatever's deploying your Kubernetes resources for your application can also be deploying your index definitions, and they will get synced and applied to your cluster. And so if we look at this index set here, I'm going to add another index to it. And then I just need to run a kube control apply to apply that index set, and it will go out and I can then monitor the status using Describe or any other tooling. You see right now it shows that it is syncing, but it is currently out of sync. So ready is false. And as it is running, you see it shows an event showing the sync started. Now it's completed. It shows itself in sync. You can see the indexes that's managing. If you kube control apply this with differences, it will delete the indexes it needs to delete, replace the indexes it needs to replace, create new ones it needs to create, make whatever mutations it needs to do to bring that index into alignment. And then at the end, when I'm done, I can kube control delete it. And when you delete it, this is using a finalizer in Kubernetes to make sure it does its cleanup. It will go out and run another job that will go through and delete those indexes. So it gives you your full index lifecycle management right here in a custom resource that you apply to Kubernetes. It is very compatible with the Couchbase Autonomous Operator. Here, this is a reference to the name of the Couchbase cluster resource in Kubernetes. It will go ahead and pull all connection and authentication information directly from that definition. However, if you wanted to, you can also supply it with a manual reference to a cluster and give it a manual connection string and credentials if you're not using the autonomous operator, for example, or if you just want a more manual control over it. So that is the the Couchbase index operator. And it's out in beta now. I'm working on some of the final documentation. Hopefully by the time you see this video, the documentation on how to deploy this will be up and running. And hopefully it's useful to everybody. Thanks.